just by that one simple shift, it really changed even my attitude going into the gym. I went in with a totally different attitude. Like, I'm grateful I can go to the gym right now. I'm grateful that I have the capabilities. I'm grateful that I have a place to go to. I'm grateful that I have the health to be able to go there. And that simple shift with 3 things that I'm grateful for really made a huge difference.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode. Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Serban Mare. You know, he arrived to the U.S. with only $200 to his name. And these are the best stories, right? Because out of that come triumph. But through determination and hard work, he created a better life for himself and his family. So wanting to achieve the American dream, he realized that he wanted more than just material success. And so that's when the personal development started. That's when he started executing to live a more authentic and fulfilled life. And so we're going to talk about peak performance today and how, as a professional speaker and CBT practitioner, that he can give us some advice on how to achieve those things. So with no further ado, Serban, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, pleasure is all mine. Thank you for taking the time. Let's talk about this. So where did you migrate from?
I'm originally from Romania. I came to the United States 17 years ago. It's a long time.
Only 200 in your pocket and ready to take on the American dream.
That's right.
Tell us about the challenges that you encountered.
Oh, I mean, I think as an immigrant, we always struggle with adjusting to a different way of doing things, right? In Romania, one reference point, if I may, is my parents. I've never seen them go out to a restaurant. Like, we didn't even have that many restaurants when I was growing up. Everything was cooked at home. So there was a stark difference between how life in Romania was and how it was here. And there were a lot of adjustments that I had to do, for sure.
Yeah, it's a culture shock because I'm from Haiti too. And just like you, parents didn't really go out to eat. Everything was cooked. But we came to the US and it was just cold, and it was from tropical to snow. Culture shock always sets you up.
I'm from Arizona, so when I came in, it was in the middle of the summer. The doors of the airport opened up, and I felt like I walked into an oven. It was quite the opposite of your experience.
Still a shock, right?
Oh yeah.
Still a total shock. And so, having achieved the American dream and having as immigrants, our parents say go to work, get a job, and then you've made it, right? That's the American dream. Be a doctor, be a lawyer. But there's more. You identified there was more early on. Tell us about that.
Right. Yeah. And you hit it right in the head, because that's what I was told in Romania by my parents and by everybody around me, that I need to make sure that I get that job. I make sure that I get a stable 401k to save for retirement, to get the home and just live out the rest of my days. And that's pretty much what I did for the first 10 plus years of my life. Yeah. And come to realize that, yes, material pursuits are very important, but they don't really fill the cup. At least they didn't do with me. And after I've achieved and checked all those boxes, I really started asking myself, okay, what else? My parents weren't there to tell me, because that's all they knew. Mm-hmm. Society was telling me to just save for retirement and go on vacations. And I had to fall on a little bit of, I wouldn't call it depression, but just an anxiety, or not knowing what my future would look like and what I wanted from my life. And I stayed there for many years. I remember going to bed on Sunday. I think people can relate, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, oh crap, tomorrow's Monday.
Monday.
And you look at the past week and you're like, I don't know what happened to the week. And I've crawled through those days, weeks, months for quite some time until I had my wife gently nudged me into personal development. She just told me, listen to this podcast. And I heard the great Les Brown on Lewis House's show, and it was like a new door has opened for me. The heavens open, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a different world out there.
Yeah, Les Brown is a classic. That's what I started too back in, I think, early 2000s. Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, those powerful
Exactly.
speakers, really open your eyes. And so that was the beginning for you. And that's good. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It definitely, they opened the door to explore personal development, and I understand the idea of a growth mindset, which really shifted my perspective on the moving away from the things that I cannot to the things that I
Hmm.
can. And it really propelled. Right now I've been in this environment for 5 years, really applying everything that I can learn, and I skyrocketed my career. I'm more at peace with myself. I'm
Yeah.
doing something that I love, speaking professionally and even physically. It's been quite a journey. But to go back to the theme of your podcast, it truly is. It starts with the morning.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing that did it for me is I was in that same rat race and that same boat as you were, and then I started doing a morning routine, and then things started enveloping. It just started getting better and clearer, and it's
Mhm.
quite powerful. And for you, with your same experience, it's interesting that when we are unfulfilled, when we are unhappy, it shows on our physique. It shows on our faces, right? The wrinkles, the frown, the permanent frown. It shows in the things that we eat. So I know you were in that space for a couple of weeks. What was it doing to you physiologically, and what the transformation that took place?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wasn't in a good place, and that aura kind of propelled for everybody towards everyone around me, and I I just felt lethargic. Right, when
Yeah.
you don't have a goal and you don't have something to aim for, you just drag into the day, and I it was just a feeling of emptiness that I was carrying with me, and people around me notice it. That's one of the reasons why my wife pushed me towards personal development, to get that life back into me.
It's mental exhaustion, isn't it? You just wake up and you're just unhappy with everything. So tell us
Mm-hmm.
some steps. You've learned a bit, you've got the experience. Tell us some steps that one can take to embark on that journey of not just happiness, but like fulfillment. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think winning the morning is something that really has helped me, and I'm a strong believer that we should not start with everything. We should just start with one thing,
Hmm.
because it happens when we do this New Year resolutions, right? We're like, okay, this year I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to look fantastic. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to switch my diet. I'm going to do all these different things. And you put so much on your plate
Yeah.
that the first 3 weeks you might be able to resist, but then it's just too much and you quit. So the process for me was very, very slow. And I was always an active person. So I used to go to the gym only, but every morning I would wake up and I would dread it. I'm like, oh no, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I would drag myself in the gym. And one thing that really helped me is when I wake up, I drink some water, and then I
Yeah.
sit down and I grab a piece of paper and I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. And
Powerful.
that that has the potential to shift everything in your life, because it goes back to the mindset. right? If we're waking up, like you said, you're dreading the day, you're just thinking about all the things that you're miserable about. That loop every morning continues to happen over and over again, where it's an automatic thought. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it. It just happens. You wake up and there they are. Your problems are front and center, and that's what you think about. And by shifting the mindset from, let me really focus in, and it's not easy at first. Three things that I'm grateful for. And I started with, oh, I got a good night's sleep. I'm grateful for that. Oh, I had some water. And then you can expand and think about, what did go well in my day yesterday? And when you put your brain in that state, it helps you shush away all the negatives, and then really pulls you into the positive on the potential that it can be. And just by that one simple shift, it really changed even my attitude going into the gym. I went in with a totally different attitude. Like, I'm grateful I can go to the gym right now. I'm grateful that I have the capabilities. I'm grateful that I have a place to go to. I'm grateful that I have the health to be able to go there. And that simple shift with three things that I'm grateful for really made a huge difference.
And that can change the trajectory of your day, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
It's free.
Indeed.
It's free, yeah. So for the actionable items, and I think that can apply in terms of showing up for your business, showing up on your relationships, showing up in your personal life, and as well. Tell us some of the aspects and way that, having developed this morning routine that you slowly, progressively built on, how it has changed you to show up in different areas of your life.
I think it's very important in the morning. We were talking about this right before we recorded, is focusing on yourself first. It's the analogy of in a case of emergency in an airplane, put your mask on first before help the others around you. And I think with the morning routine, the more you're able to allow yourself some space to really take care of your mental health, it really, and your physical health, it really helps you throughout your whole day with everything that you have to do. So in my case, gratitude was the first thing. I was able to go and really activate my body in the gym. For some people, it may be just going on a walk. Some people may want to go for a run or bike or whatever it is, go for a swim. Activating your body is very helpful. And that was the second thing that I added to my routine. And then in the gym, they have a sauna. So I do some hot exposure and I just sit quiet and meditate. That's another thing that really helped me clear my thoughts to get ready for the day. And all of this, of course, it goes back to being intentional with taking care of yourself. So I make a point to not check my phone until I'm done with that meditation. Check my email, because if you're reaching for your phone, all of a sudden you're on other people's agendas. You're tied to everybody else's to-do list instead of making sure that you cover your own to-do list first.
Yeah. Oh, well put.
Yeah, I can go on.
That's true. No, I totally agree with you. It's everyone's agenda waiting for you on the phone, and so it's good to take care of yourself first, especially in the morning. That way, you don't leave it for chance. You intentional. You're very, very intentional about it. So that really is helpful. And so let's talk about the CBT aspect of it, because I imagine you help a lot of people with habit building in that field.
Yeah, the CBT is more of a, whenever we have these negative thoughts, is when it goes back to the morning routine. When you're able to put your brain into a positive state, it is more easy to see the possibilities rather than the negativities. And when you meditate, you're able to clear your thoughts. So with the CBT, so many of us, something happens throughout the day that doesn't really gel with us. Our expectations are not in line with what have actually happened. So the CBT is, you're taking a pause, and the meditation helps you with this. Whenever you feel that urge of anger or frustration, to take a pause, really think through of what happened, because that initial impulse, that emotion to attack is either attack or flight, is the first instinct. And if you have this morning routine where you are in a positive state, when you are more calm in your thoughts by meditating, you'll be able to assess the situation a little more calmly. And then rather than doing a reaction to whatever happened, you are able to respond properly. So it's whenever you find yourself in this type of situation, is ask yourself, what is my expectation to the negative, what is my expectation to the positive, and how can I meet it in the middle? And that really helps you overcome certain stressful situation that we are all finding ourselves in.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that we have those ants, right? Those automatic negative thoughts. Yeah, that's the default.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, that is our default, and it takes work daily to get up and push the reset button. And that's where meditation comes. And when you say you activate the body, that releases the serotonin necessary to boost your mood, but
Mm-hmm.
also gives you the energy you need throughout the day to take on whatever it brings.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's very, very well said. Yeah, because you don't start with, I just got into a car accident and now you're Zen because you did meditation, right? You
Right.
start with small practices where someone cuts you in traffic and you're like, okay, I'll just let that go,
Yeah.
rather than getting angry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hearing from you. You highly recommend the morning routine, right? You like it is the precedent. It's like the start of it all.
It's it's the prime for your day. And if you start off your day on a bad foot, it just kind of trickles into your whole other part of the day. But if you're intentional with your morning and you're really giving yourself enough time to take care of yourself, you have a higher chance of having an excellent day. And here's the thing, we're all busy, right? We have so many responsibilities in our day, and we always feel like what's important for us comes last. But if you take care of whatever the small thing that you can do for yourself in the morning, that will allow you to not be frustrated at, man, I did not get to do the things that I wanted to do. If you do them in the morning, then you already know that you're done. Me, by 8, I'm a happy camper. I've already
Yeah.
done so many things that I care about, that everything else that comes throughout that day, I can embrace them a little bit easier and not be as frustrated.
And everything else, it seems like a bonus, right? Like it's a treat because you've already
That's
done
right.
the hardest part of your day uh,
Mm-hmm.
to get the way you are. That is you're speaking my language, and the morning routine does really it's pivotal to get you started. And I'm hearing from you too. It's not just entrepreneurs; it's any industry. If you're in a career, if you're a 9 to 5, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to get better at what you do, whatever that is, this is a good place to start because then it will help you get in alignment with what your values are so that you can serve people better.
Yeah, and whoever's looking to win the day, I've added this in the last year or so to my agenda. So after I write the 3 things that I'm grateful for, I always write 2 or 3 things that I want to achieve that day, that
Yeah,
guide me throughout my day. Because uh, again, there's so many things coming at us, and we all know how much responsibility we have. But if you have one thing that you accomplish in that day that you can write down and really take care of it, I think then you're going to have a much better day. And as either an entrepreneur or not, that goal list for the day, I think it's crucial to really guide us on what is my main thing that I can do
yeah,
today to feel
yeah.
accomplished. Yeah.
I think we're using the same journal. I use day one, and that's the That's the format that I utilize. Three things you're grateful for, three things you want to accomplish. And that simplifies it because there's, like you said, I have a to do list that just doesn't seem to end. But if I can pick one or two things on that list to do, then it's going to be a good day. And also eat your frog first, right? Because you have a lot of willpower in the morning. So do the hardest one first, and then everything else again goes back to that bonus. You're winning.
Clearly, yeah, clearly we're on the same level because I do think that, it definitely, I think the morning starts the night before where you make sure that you get enough sleep. But I look at our day as a battery, and you wake up with a full battery charge.
Yeah.
And as you go to the day, your battery just drains more and more. But if you take care of yourself first in the morning, I think you're supercharging that battery. So you have more energy throughout the day.
That does happen, yeah, especially with the
Yeah.
workout or meditation keeps you zen. You do get more fuel and more energy. Serban, this is good. I love that we're on the same wavelength. Tell us, where can we connect with you? How can we find you?
Yeah, you can either look me up on Instagram, so SERBANMARE. That's my handle, or the website is the same name,
Hmm.
.com. And just I have a few resources there if anybody is interested, coaching sessions, or if you just want to start a conversation, hit me up on Instagram, and I'm glad to chat. I have 100 other routines that I apply to make sure that I have a more fulfilling and happy life.
Robust, more of a robust, like when you're intentional, you show up to life.
That's
You
right.
show up to live life. We love quotes here at Best Morning Routine. Can you leave us with one?
I want to say that it goes back to the way we started. It's not about revolution, it's about evolution. Just make sure that if you're looking to start your morning routine, start with one thing. Just do a simple thing, like even just having your alarm clock ring 10 minutes earlier than you are able to wake up, just so you get accustomed to that morning routine. And add on top of it, the moment you have that habit nailed down, add one more thing, but
Mhm.
just start with one. I think that's the biggest thing.
Well put. Thank you so much for Serban for coming on and sharing with us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's an awesome conversation.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.